Okay. Um, bear with me 1 second, guys. I have to restart. This usually happens when I quick resume the game. Come on, F1. This usually happens when I quick resume the game. I just can't join any like lobbies. But when I restart it, we should be good. I should be able to get in there before the race starts. I think that's what everybody really cares about. We'll see qualifying positions by the time we get in there. So just know that the InterTier is about to heat up. 3 rounds to go. 13, 14, and 15. We have Mano back after his race ban. I know how drivers feel after a race ban. Mr. P leads the championship. I've posted the InterTier standing, so I think everyone should have access to that. Mr. P leads the championship from Hazer and Mano. If he wins this, I believe this will be his third Inter championship in a season that this might just be the last one. To be interested to see. I'm still struggling to join this session, guys. Let's see. Oh, get the call. 1 sec. I'll keep trying to join this session. Alright. Just in time. Lucky enough. Just in time. Ready. Just before the race started. I think the race is about to start, so we're very lucky here. So we're gonna get the start. So by the way, if you didn't see what I wrote in the chat, I got a call, by the way, from my job and everything. So I might get a call later on in the race, but for now, nothing. So I'll be able to focus on this. But here we go. 4 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights ahead of the drivers at the Vegas Grand Prix. And his foot to the floor and go, go, go. Decking the Mercedes, who started in pole position, is going to keep that pole position. A good start from him. Doesn't let Hazer get the run on him as they head to turn 1. Nice and clean for most of the drivers. Championship leader going fighting with the other Mercedes, trying to get that P4, but he's just gonna have to settle for P5 for now. Roaring up behind, he's gonna put pressure on that Alpine, whose teammate is down in P10. He'll be praying for his teammate to help him a lot here, because Mano, as one of the drivers, 2 other drivers, one spun, and it looks like somebody somewhere is in the wall. Fake Mano right behind his championship contender now, after starting at the back, already making up so many places. Let's pull up everything now that they are on. I'm just going to switch out telemetry though. Let's pull everything else. But here we go. Everybody is on those medium tires, except from Viva, who's on the hards, and Kez Woody also on the hard tires. But everybody else will start on the mediums. Mano, how many places has he made already? Interval, let's see, how do you do this stuff again? I don't really check this stuff. Position changes, 6 position changes right at the start. Looks like he's not waiting for anybody whatsoever, as Hazer is also not waiting for anybody whatsoever, and it's going to make it 3 wide as they head down to the penultimate corner. But now they're going to get back in line. Hazer trying to make it right outside the Ferrari, who's going to defend it, Pesci, and he does a good job. Hazer is going to have to stay behind the McLaren. And Hazer is going to have to stay behind the Ferrari and go for the attack when the DRS will be enabled. At the end of this lap, we're going to start seeing all the moves being done. Hazer very close. Pesci was going to look for it down the inside. Doesn't need the DRS. He's going to slightly almost go making contact there with Mercedes, but nice and clean from the Ferrari. A little bit of lock-up smoke, but he gets the move done. And the next challenge now is for Mano, who's definitely going to put pressure on his championship contender, and the championship leader has lost that place now to Fake Mano in the kick Sauber, who slots right into P4. Pesci and Deck are still fighting in front as they are trying to take the lead of this race. But is Vegas being in the lead isn't really the most important thing, because you're always going to be overtaken by a car behind you with that DRS. It only takes a matter of time. Well, here we go now. The other Alpine has slightly dropped back a little bit. Look at him, might have made a mistake somewhere. Now he's going to be attacked by Viva in the Aston Martin, trying it around the outside, but Viva is going to hold it back. He knows that it's pointless actually fighting here, and they can probably work together to hold on to the pack. Sometimes that's actually the best choice to do. Instead of fighting it so hard, just holding on to the pack, or let the guy attacking you go, so you guys do not lose the pack. As you can see, Deck now will take back the lead of this race. Mano, though, the man who started right at the back, already in P3, he's taking no prisoners whatsoever. He wants to lead this race. He wants to win this race to kickstart his fight back to grab his first title in UFRL. But he's going against the man with multiple titles, multiple years of experience, races of experience, grab multiple titles. He wants it one more time. He's gonna have to push very hard now if he's planning on beating Mano and Hazer in the last 2 rounds. Hazer is in P2 in the championship. Let's not forget that. As P3 in the championship, he's gonna be attacking P2 on track and on the championship, as he's gonna slide into P2. And what a start Mano is having here. He is not leaving anyone. Oh, as Hazer is going to take that back. Hazer didn't let that fight end right in that corner. Hazer took it back, and to P2 he goes. But definitely Mano is not giving this one up. He's going to keep fighting in this race. 3 laps to go. 3 laps in, and he's already up into P3. You know that he means business here today, the kick Sauber. And how much is that business done? We know how much Mano did dominate this tier at the start of the season. Many races won in a row. A lot of pole positions. But as the season was coming to an end, tougher and tougher drivers were showing up to the InterTier. giving him more and more competition, which led actually to his race ban because of the penalty. Obviously, when you're racing with more and more drivers, you could get into more incidents, which he did, and which led to his race ban. But now he's back. Now he's on the fire. As he's up now into P3. The moves will be made, but now the Alpine of Merck will be trying to dispatch the two Aston Martins, who I believe both of them go ahead of him. I believe Jack might have already been ahead of him, but we want to get close to his teammate to help his teammate as much as he can, who's trying not to fall out of the DRS of the pack in front. He knows that that's probably the best strategy he has. He slightly almost loses it there. He's going to have to do a little bit of pushing now to make sure that he does not lose that pack 7/10 back. But they are bunched up the front five as they always will. Hazer will be looking for it, but Mano is going to take that Pito. Hazer is going to dive down the inside though. He's going to push his championship contender, making a little bit of contact. Pesci is going to join this fight in this Ferrari, taking that place from Hazer, putting the pressure on Mano, but Hazer now is going to drop behind the Mercedes of Link's Peace. Contact between those two and their elbows are definitely going to be out. It's only 3 rounds left and everybody wants to be a champion. Mano is showing that he can be a champion. Hazer and Mr. Pido, both champions in UFRL, in UFRL, will want another one. Mano not yet. He hasn't been crowned yet, but he will want that crown. Sure. His next target though is going to be Deck, who was pulled away from that DRS, and it looks like he's gonna have to try and work together here with Pesci to try and get up to Deck, because Deck will keep pulling away. That is not what Mano will want in his championship fight. Mr. Pido has taken the place from his contender. Hazer was looking for it down the inside, but he's going to pull out of it and just stay right behind them. Looks like Merck has lost more places now. The Alpine really struggling in this race. I don't know if he has damage. He doesn't have any. Oh, he does. He does have damage in the left. As you can see, left front wing end plate, and it's not the best start from Merck. He does say that he doesn't really enjoy Vegas, and maybe these are one of those races that he's not going to enjoy here. Mind you though, he has a few wins, I believe, in Vegas. One in the 100% where I was his teammate, where he won the Williams. So he does know how to win, but maybe it's just not his day today. But it's just the start of the race. Anything can happen in Formula 1. As we head to the front now, Mano still in P3, right behind Pesci and Deck, and he knows that these drivers are not going to make it easy for him, as he almost didn't make it easy for himself and almost lost it there, but he's doing a great job to catch the car. Stunning stuff from Mano though. Very, very scary. That might have just been the end of his championship if he went into the wall and DNF'd. Maybe that would have been the point that Mr. P would have grabbed it, or Hazer would have put one hand on the championship. For now, they just have, I wouldn't say a full hand on it, because they are very close to top 3. Link's Peace is also still in there and can still win the championship. So they have to remember that. They still have to remember that they have one more driver who has a chance to win it, because he has the pace to actually win races. So they will still be watching the Mercedes of Link's Peace, who does have a teammate Deck today, will be helping him get to that goal of winning this race. Pesci though, right behind Deck, finally has caught back up into the DRS of the Mercedes and will be looking to get the move done very soon. But for now, it's just to stay behind and recharge that ERS, as you can see on his dashboard. That has gone really low. Same thing for Mano, same for the road. It looks like all of them are using a lot of their ERS. Mr. P has done a good job to save it, but it means he's losing a little bit of time, and he's going to have to use a little bit of it to get close to Hazer. The interesting part here is that Hazer now has fallen out of that DRS. Will he be able to catch back to it? He needs to be able to catch back to it, because him and Mr. P falling out of this race for the win wouldn't be the best option for them when it comes to championship contending with fake Mano. They know that he does have the pace to win the race, so they need to be in and around the position to be able to also win the race. So Hazer has to push here to try and get back into their DRS. 1.2 behind Link's Peace in front. This will be the corner that matters. He will need to push into this corner and make sure that he has a better entry and exit than the drivers in front, because if they don't get the DRS now, I believe that will be over 7/10 to his. Very, very good cornering from him. But Mr. P doesn't do well to keep close to that DRS, and now his race has been changed. He has to think of something else here to try and beat his 2 championship contenders in front, who are still in this pack. Hazer though falling out of the pack once again. He was in there with 7/10, but because he used all that ERS, he might not have had the power and the straight line speed to keep close to the 4 very quick drivers in front who are DRSing and slipstreaming themselves, as Mano now will be looking to finally take this lead of the race down the inside, but he's not going to do it yet, but he's still there. Deck will give him a little bit of space. Mano's now going to try round the outside as they get here to the right-hander. The Ferrari though is going to join this fight to make it 3 wide as they head down to turn 4. Has Mano taking the lead of this race? Yes, he has. Pesci is now going to take place on the deck in the Mercedes, and Mano back with a bang. He only took him 7 laps in this race to go from last to first. I wouldn't say it was last. I think we started P12. 2 other drivers might have started behind him, 4 or but from the back to P1. It's very, very tough stuff from Mano, as he now leads this race and he will dictate how this race goes. Hazer though has done a good job now to catch back into the pack, exactly what he needed, but that's the goal that Mr. P will be looking for. But it's a very difficult goal now, as Dog now has taken the place from Jack, but he made contact. Jack is into the wall, and that's surely is going to be a safety car. That is a virtual safety car, not a full safety car. As you can see, his wing is wall, but the 2 drivers made contact. Unbelievable stuff. It's caught right on the stream as I went down to Dog making the overtake on Jack. I don't know what exactly happened there, but surely there will be some reports being sent in. Luckily for Jack, he's not out of the session. That's just a wing gun for him, but that surely would have been a safety car. But the question now is, who's going to take the advantage? Who's going to go in? 1, 2, 3, 4 cars go in. They believe it is the right choice to go in, but what would Mr. P do? He's also going to follow them into the pits. Would this be the right choice for him? Should he have stayed out with Link's piece to wait for another safety car? Maybe, maybe not. But that is Formula 1. You have to make these choices. Mano though has to change his wing, so this might be a good choice for Mr. P, who is now going to get ahead of fake Mano. He's into P8. Mano has to drop down onto P9 because he had to change his wing and he's lost places to everybody, and this means the teammate of Mr. P can now tuck right in front of the man who just tried to get this race win. As you can see now, the teammates of Mr. P right in front of Mano, and this race has changed. Just took 1 lap, 1 incident to change this race, to flip it on his head. Now what can Merck do to defend from Mano behind? He's going to have a very, very tough job now. 7 laps he's done on those mediums, and he's going to have a very difficult job. I believe he still has damage on his front left end plate. There you go, still damage there for Mano, for Merck, as Mano gives him a little bit of a tap, and you know Mano will be desperate to get past the Alpine. The Alpine is not going to make it easy though. Exactly what he needs to do for his teammates. Will Mano go for it down the inside, round the outside, looking for it inside, not close enough. He's not going to go for the dive bomb because he knows he can use the DRS and the slipstream behind this Alpine to get the move completed. But this means that Mr. P in front can't pull away. Merck though has the ERS, but is he going to use it to defend? He's going to use it to defend from Mano. They're going to be fighting side by side as they head down to the corner. How much does that Alpine, how much straight line speed does he have? Would he be enough to fight against Mano? Will he look for it down the inside? No, he would not, and he's just going to have to hold it back. There's nothing much he can really do with the damaged wing, but he's done enough now for his teammate, because now Mano has fallen out from the pack in front of Pesci, who is going into the pit. Not a good choice from Pesci. Is that damage? Is that damage for Pesci? Or is that a drive-through? Looks like Pesci might have gotten a drive-through under the virtual safety car. And this race that I thought could not be turned on its head even more has been turned on its head even more, as Pesci had to serve that drive-through penalty, and Hazer now is in the best position out of all the championship contenders to get that lead of the championship at the end of this race. Mr. P now 2 seconds from behind him. Hazer has gone on those hard tires that surely can go to the end. Lynx and Viva in front stayed out, and surely we have to go into the pit. Deck is in a prime position to be your winner here. As long as no safety car does come out, Deck will definitely win this race. But the Mercedes do not matter. All that matters here is the Alpine, the Kick-Saubers, who are both in championship fights. Let's not forget that the constructors also matters here, as the Alpine and the Kick-Saubers are going at it. The Alpine are currently leading in both championships, but Mano now will be chasing Mr. P down 6 tenths that he is behind him. Mr. P knows the pace that Mano has behind him. So his tactic here might change. He might just let Mano go by and just stay behind the kick-out, but use his DRS to keep pulling him along in this race to try and catch up to Hazer in front, because it's pointless just giving a fight to Mano here. Because we know the pace that Mano has. If you use all your tires fighting Mano too hard, you might just lose it all and not be able to keep up with him. A very experienced driver, as you can see the Alpine here, and he does exactly what I said. He's going to let Mano go and he's going to stick with that DRS. Mano doesn't have the DRS in front of him to pull away, and that's exactly what the Alpine needs. He does have the pace though to catch Hazer in front. We'll see how that goes. Dog is doing a good job to hold on to Hazer. 7:10 he's behind the McLaren, but it looks like he will fall off on this lap. Did he get damage from the contact with Jack there? Looks like his wings are doing well. Maybe he doesn't have any visual damage, but looks like Jack did come up where he was in that there incident. The deck now has caught up to Viva very quick there, but he was some seconds ahead of Viva before he did go into the pit. So you do expect him to catch up with Viva. Now Lynx though has gone into the pits for those hard tires, and I believe the drivers who went into the pits for hard tires under the virtual safety car are the drivers who did the right choice. The Mercedes of Lynx Pisto couldn't make that choice, because either he made that choice, go in under the safety car and double stack, or stay out and just go in after. But it looks like he might have gained more time deciding to stay out, because if he did go in right behind his teammate, the amount of time he will lose will just be the same as going for a normal pit stop. So it was smart for him to stay out. Deck though leading the way and looking like he will win this race. Hazer doesn't look like he has the pace to reel in Deck, but does he have the pace to keep Mr. P and Mano from catching up to him is the question now. Now, will Mr. P and Mano work together is another question. Will these two just decide to absolutely fight themselves to the end of this race? This is exactly what Mr. P will be looking for though. If he's not going to beat Mano today, Mano should not be winning the race, because he is the championship leader, and Mano wants to get the championship lead today. He will need to win the race. It's not looking likely here with about 14 laps to go. Not long to go here. Retired from the session, Iceman in the pits. No panic, everybody. Calm down. There's not going to be a safety car. One of the Williams is out now. He's in the pits. Kezi look like he's going to be going into the pits now. And looks like he might be going for a wing change. Oh no, it's actually just going for a tire change. And look like to be mediums to the end for Kez here. Lynx Pisto now slightly catching up to Dog. I will need that DRS on the slipstream from Dog to slightly also catch up to Mano and Mr. P in front, who are using that. He's using the DRS to get past Mr. P here. As you can see, now he has taken that place from Mr. P, but they are still working together for sure. Maybe I'm just giving a wild guess here that they're working together. They're not fighting too hard, and as you can see, they are starting to catch Hazer in front, who is maybe, I'm not sure, catching Deck. He is catching Viva, but I'm not sure about Deck, because Deck's still about 4 seconds away from Hazer here. But now Mr. P needs to make sure that Mano doesn't pull away from him, as he is 6 tenths away, pushing very hard to pull away from his championship contender here. Mr. P will have that DRS though. The DRS is very, very important, especially in a track like Vegas. Merc though went in, actually hasn't gone into the pits yet. That's why his wing is still damaged. Both are still damaged. Both damage on the wing of Merc. Red damage for Merc, as he will surely going into the pits at the end of this one. He's done a good job for his teammates in that Alpine. That is why the Alpine are actually leading the constructors, and that's why his teammate is fighting very hard for the championship. But this is just not his day today. Anything can still happen though. As there's yellow flags in front, looks like it's the Williams of Kez. That's not going to be a safety car though, as he is still. Oh, is he going to spin again? Let's just go away from him. There is nobody to watch it. Struggle to get back on track, as Deck now 4.5 seconds away. Viva has now been overtaken by Hazer, but as you can see, Mano and Mr. P right behind them have now caught up to Hazer. This is going to be very, very exciting coming to the end of this race. The three championship contenders are going to be stuck right together. And who is going to win over who today? Mano and Mr. P will surely make quick work of Viva here, who's on those old hard tires, and they will get into the back of the McLaren. With the strategy that Viva is going for here, though, work out for him. Will the safety car come in any moment now? Safety car come out any moment now and give Viva the opportunity to be up here. Looks like it might not just be the case, but he's still going to be pushing, as we have Mano has now taken the place from him, and it can now put pressure on Hazer. Mr. P though will be looking to do the move that Mano just did as quick as possible on the Aston Martin in front. He wouldn't want to lose time to the drivers in front. As you can see, Viva slightly struggling, and it looks like he's just going to let Mr. P by. He doesn't want to be too much. He doesn't want to affect this fight too much. But Mr. P has slightly lost the DRS from Manu and Hazer in front. That is not what he will want at all. But what happened there is that he wasn't quick enough to overtake Viva. Nothing Viva could really do. Wasn't just quick enough to overtake the Aston Martin in front, and he's gonna have to now push very hard to catch up to them, as they are gonna be squabbling. Hazer's not gonna make it easy for Manu, but that's exactly what Mr. P wants. He wouldn't want them to be working together here to pull away from him. We want them absolutely fighting. As there's more yellow flags, Kez has done it again. It looks like he's gone deep into the same corner, and he's struggling after going onto those soft tires. That the soft tires are not doing really well for Kez here. Mano though and Hazer look like they will be the ones fighting. They are 5.4 seconds away from Deck in front, and we said Deck will win this race if he goes his way, but Mano and Hazer do work together here. Can they catch Deck? That is the question we ask now. It is possible they can catch him if they work together, but they're not going to be. Hazer almost looked like he was going for it down the inside. He did go for it down the inside on Mano a few laps ago. I believe like 9 laps ago, maybe sometime at the start of this race. In that corner, they did make a little bit of contact, but this time around, he decides not to go for that dangerous move. We know how dangerous that corner is, especially when you do not brake early enough. Easy to just go face first into the wall and DNF. Hazer made the smart choice there not to fight that hard. As you can see now, he will not have that DRS to attack Manu in front. Would they work together to catch Deck is the question we ask. But Link's Peace now 2.6 seconds behind Viva, and Mr. P still hasn't caught up to them. Pesci though, the one that got the drive-through penalty, 6 laps he's done on those hard tires. He did get a drive-through penalty under the virtual safety car, so he did pit for new tires, but he had to serve his penalty and drop all the way down to P7. How much of a recovery can he get now, the Ferrari? Most likely there wouldn't be a safety car. It doesn't look like anybody on the track will be bringing out a safety car here, but we'll see how that goes. As Merck now slightly catching up to Doug. I don't know how he's doing it. It's a damaged wing, but he is doing it. But Mr. P 2.6 seconds has fallen off from Hazer. Surely wouldn't be able to catch them again. And looks like Peck has pulled away again from Hazer and Mano. He will grab your win here, but out of these two, out of the championship contenders, who is going to grab P2? Who is going to grab P3? He's heating up. 10 laps to go in this race. Championship deciding races make F1 what it is. It's very exciting racing. These drivers, everybody wants to be a champion, and they're not going to make it easy for each other here. They're not going to make it easy for each other here. Fake Mano behind Hazer is just going to stay there. He knows that he has that DRS. Viva has fallen off of DRS from Mr. P, so Mr. P wouldn't have that pressure of the driver behind him, but will have the pressure of one trying to catch the drivers in front. While his championship contenders, he is leading. So we're gonna head down now to Doug. And there's not really any other fights on track. Mano and Hazer are the only ones. Surprising to see, because in Vegas you expect so many fights, but there's been a bunch of mistakes, a bunch of drivers going off, drive-throughs, virtual safety cars, different things has separated a bunch of drivers. But Hazer and Mano are the only ones who are going to have a fight here, and surely they're going to be fighting to the end. None of them is going to be given an inch, as Hazer now is tucking right behind that unleashed rear wing of the Kick Sauber, taking the tighter line here, trying to get the optimal line as he comes out of turn 2 and turn 3, and now he's going to have that DRS heading down to turn 4. Will he make the move? It doesn't look like he's going to make it. Sticking behind Mano, he knows that he can save as much DRS as he can. 2.9 seconds now, Lynx behind Mr. P. When will he be catching up to Mr. P? Maybe that might be another strategy for Mr. P to do here. Will Lynx have the pace, if he does catch up to Mr. P, to now pull him closer to Mano and Hazer in front, because they will have the DRS to be helping themselves. But Mano and Hazer will also have the 10-kilometer advantage with that DRS to be DRS switching. Hazer now will definitely be taking that P2. They will keep switching. So nothing exciting going on here for now. It's late. It's the end of this race. About 4 laps to go. That they surely would not be helping each other again. They will surely be having their elbows out. What we're gonna do here is just gonna follow different drivers and see exactly what they're doing. I'm gonna head down to Warren now. He's in the pits now. Looks like he's going in for his final pit stop. Will Kez get ahead of him? When it comes to no, he's not. Kez wouldn't get ahead of him, and Warren will keep that P11. Woody and Kick Sauber will be looking to improve his place, because he is still there. Mind you, they're still in a championship fight with the Alpines, and as we speak, the Kick Saubers have more points than them in this race. If he finishes the way it is, his target now, Woody, will be the Alpine of Merck in front, who still doesn't have a wing. I mean, it's Vegas, maybe that's why he can still stay out. He doesn't have a clean wing. Maybe that will give Woody the impetus now to try and push to catch up to Merck, to make sure that the Kick Saubers can gain enough on the Alpines today to fight back in their Constructors' Championship. We have a very interesting championship here in the InterTier. What's it going to be? Are we going to have Mano being the champion and the Alpines being the Constructors' Champion? Or are we going to have Mr. P being the champions and the Kicks being the Constructors? Or are any of the teams going to take the 2 championships, meaning the drivers and the team constructors? Sorry, drivers and the Constructors' Championship. So, like, how is this championship going to end is the question we ask. It is nice to win a Constructors, everybody knows that, but it's even way better to win a Drivers' Championship, and I know Mr. P will have that at the back of his mind as he fights here for himself and for Alpine. Lynx Pistol is slightly catching up to him here, 1.5 seconds now, and about probably next lap or the lap after he will be in that DRS zone of Mr. P. 5.8 seconds, they are still behind Deck. Looks like he's had a very, very good race here with Mercedes and will be your winner. If I was to summarize this race, it did start not too frantic. Mano had a really, really good start. I don't know how he did it. Maybe he will post this in that's Pesci retired from the session in the pits. When I see these retirees, I just think, oh my god, on track, safety car. Looks like he's had enough now, and the Ferrari will be retiring in the pit lane after he did get that drive through under the virtual safety car. His race has not gone. His race was undone. He will now retire from the session. But this means that Merck will make one more place. Woody, though, is slowly catching up to him. They're going to be having their fights coming to the end of this race. Kick Sauber versus Alpine. 7 laps to go. But surely Woody will be catching up to him, because Woody does have wings. Merck has done a great job, though, to be in P8 without them. Mr. P, though, has now been caught up by Lynx Peace, and maybe now they can work together to catch up to Hazer. But 6 seconds is a stretch, a massive stretch to catch up to Hazer and Mano in front. So it looked like it would be Mano or Hazer that will be gaining on the championship leader today. But who is going to be gaining more, Hazer or Mano? It's going to go down right to the end of this race. None of them have penalties. You know what we're going to check now, since nothing's really happening on track. Let's check their warnings to see how close they are to getting that penalty that will definitely kill the race that they fought for here. Mr. P has 2 warnings, so he is 1 away from 3. Pesci and Hazer Mano and Hazer have 0 warnings. So right now they can push as hard as they want to coming to the end of this race. And that is exactly what they'll be going for. As you can see now, They are squabbling round the outside. Mano is going to go and keep that place from Hazer. Will this mean that Lynx and Mr. P can cut up? Probably not. Still 8 seconds behind. A lot of time behind, but Mr. P now surely will be making sure that he will have to beat Lynx here. He will need that P4 or P5 would not do if Mano is going to finish in P2 on the podium. And let's see how it goes. Merc still ahead of Woody, 2.5 seconds. It's going to be an interesting fight to watch between those two, and we'll see exactly how that goes. Can Merc finish this race without a win? If he does end up finishing ahead of Woody without the win, can we just say he's my driver of the day? Because to drive most of this race, look at this, just look at his wing, look at the state of that wing. Oh my god, into the wall he goes again. Can he defend from Woody here? He's done a great job. 19 laps. His car has been damaged for a while now. I mean, he hasn't been that damaged, but he's damaged for a while now. As you can see, we're gonna watch this. Will Woody make the move before the DRS or after the DRS? What a fight Merc is having here. As we're gonna head back now to Mr. P, 2/10 behind Lynx Piece. He's gonna be looking to make the move as they head down to turn 1. Here we go now. Down the inside, he's gonna look for it, so he's gonna hold it back on the Mercedes. He's gonna hold it back, but heading down now to Woody and Merc. Would he use his DRS to defend from Woody behind? Woody is going to have that DRS and is going to activate it. He is low on the ERS though, 22% on the kick salvo, but he's going to take that place from Merc. Not that special though, because the Merc does have the wing damage, but Woody will not care because he knows that that's going to be more points for his team as he gets ahead of the Alpine. No, now Deck. Sapina 4/10 behind Mano now. Hazer is just waiting to the end of this race. Oh, Mano slightly losing it there. Just gonna wait to the end of this race to see the top fight that's gonna happen. Merc's still holding on to Woody here, but when the corners come, as when he will start to fall off on the driver in front. I think this will be the strategy now. Merc can't go into the pit now because 39 seconds. Warrior is behind him 39 times. Warrior is not even in the session again, so easy for Merc to just go into the pits now, follow soft tires and get the extra point. If he does get the extra points, I don't think we'll be gaining that much on him. So we'll be looking to get that extra point. Who has the fastest lap now? That's even true. Exactly. Who has the fastest lap? No, that's not how you check it. What am I doing? Fastest laps. Here we go. Ooh, Mano has the fastest lap. Merc definitely will be looking at that. I'll be trying to help his teammate. His teammate wouldn't be going to the pits to try and get that fastest lap. Might not be the best choice because he still has a chance to beat Lynx Piece here. But Merc has a chance to grab that fastest lap away from Mano in front. That extra point, everything matters in Formula 1. Mr. P could end up winning the championship by 1 point at the end. Mano though is going to dive down the inside of the McLaren, and as you can see, the elbows are now out with a few laps to go. Like I said, about 4 laps to go in this race. That's when these drivers surely will start fighting very, very hard here, and they went side by side into that hairpin as Hazer is going to defend from Mano. Mano will have that DRS though, and he has 100% ERS on his car also for Hazer, so it's going to be an easy move surely for Mano. Coming to the end of this race, Mr. P will have to stay behind Lynx Piece here. What will the strategy be for Alpine? Will Merc go into the pits for that safety car? He's going to have to plan it very smart because he wouldn't want drivers in front to look at that and make their own plans. But they will definitely can't go into the pits now because Mano and Hazer know they're going to the pits. Mr. P will make that place on them. So this fastest lap strategy is definitely out of the question for these two drivers. The only driver now that's in the question with and can probably help his team and his teammate is UFRL Merc. We'll see how that goes. It's going to be a very difficult time to get though, because I believe the fastest lap time is a 1:31 and Merc's fastest time is a 1:34. He will need to improve by 3 seconds. But I mean, lighter cars, soft tire, new wing, a track fully rubber down. He probably can't beat that fastest time, but we'll see. He will need a DRS though, because I'm sure Mano did set that fastest time using DRS on a driver. So we'll see exactly what Merc can do here. Few laps. Few laps to go, guys. Who is going to be your Champions Leader at the end of this race? One sec. Let's actually look at the standings. Let's look at the standings. How many points is Mr. P going to lose to the drivers in front? Alright, InterTier standings. Currently, Mr. P leads from Hazer by just 4 points and from Mano by 9 points. So today, if it does end like this with Mano finishing in P2, that means Mano is going to have 30 points, Mr. P in P4, and that's if he does finish P4. You know what? This will be very difficult to do. This is just going to be long to do. Let's just wait to the end of this race, because I don't know if Mano or Hazer are going to finish 2 or 3. We don't know if Mr. P is going to grab that P4 from Lynx, because Lynx is definitely not going to make it easy. He also knows that he's in the championship fight here. 2 races to go. He'll win, and 2 wins for Lynx P can actually put him in the championship lead. Let's see. Lynx P does have 231 points. He is 40 odd points behind Mr. P, 46 points behind Mr. P. So if you can gain a little bit of points here on Mr. P, then win the next race and the final race, which is double points, let me remind you. A lot of drivers need to remember that the final race is double points. You can't gain a lot on drivers that you're competing with. As Merck now has gotten back ahead of Woody. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how we gained on Woody, but Woody might have made a mistake. Is that damage for the kick saber? It is that. No, it's not damage for the kick saber. I don't know what Merck did there to push. It looks like Woody and Merck will be going into the pits, and both the kick saber and the Alpine looks like they will be fighting to the end here. They're both going to go on the soft tires. Let's see. Is it going to be soft tires for? Yes, it's going to be soft tires for Merck. Soft tires for the kick saber, but Merck though had to change his wing. It's going to take a little bit longer than the kick saber, so that means the kick saber is going to be ahead of him. Mind you though, Merck does have more pace than Woody, so he have the pace now with a few laps to go here to catch up and pass the kick saber of Woody. Looks like they both have the same amount of penalties, 3 seconds that they sit on. But on the penultimate lap of this race, Deck surely will be a winner. A very dominant race here for the Mercedes, who is actually in front of the kick saber and the Alpine there, as you can see. Who the Alpine though has caught up to Woody, and they will be the last fights to watch as everybody crosses the line on the final lap of this race. Who is going to finish P2? Who is going to finish P3 between these 2 championship contenders? The man in P2 with 273 points, Hazer, and the man in P3 in the championship with 268 points, Mano, who had the race ban last week, who was looking for a race win this week, but he couldn't get it done because of the dominance of the Mercedes of Deck. He can though get that P2 heading to the final lap of this race. He's gonna have to push now to make sure that Hazer doesn't get the place from him. Same goes for Mr. P. He's gonna have to make sure that he calculates his last lap to make sure that he gets the P4 on Lynx piece in front. We're going to also be watching the Alpine of Merck and Woody, who also are squabbling at the back on the final lap of this race. They're actually starting their final laps now, Woody and Merck. So here we go, final laps of this race, and they're going to be pushing hard now. Hazer is looking for it down the inside. He's going to have to hold it back. He knows he's going to have other opportunities of DRS to make the move on the kick saber in front. He's going to be pushing that kick saber all the way to the end. Is he going to get the move done here now? He knows that that's going to put himself in a precarious position. Mr. P also in the position that Hazer Mano is in now, leading the car behind him. Lynx is not going to push for an overtake on this in this DRS zone. Surely they're all going to be pushing for the overtakes in the back straight in the final lap of this race, lap 25 of 25 of a very exciting race here at Vegas. Who is going to be the winner? But first, we're going to watch Woody and Merck here. Can Merck get Woody on their final laps of this race? They have been overtaken by the race leader, but Woody is going to have the DRS from the Mercedes in front, so he might just have enough to keep Merck away. Merck is gaining. gaining on that Kickstarter, switching to the outside, and the Alpine is going to take that place. Do they have the same amount of penalties is the question we ask. Back to Hazer and Mano. Hazer is going to take that place from Mano. Into P2 he goes. He decided to stay back on the final straight. Mano is going to have to fight it as they head to the line now. Tucking behind Hazer, using his swift stream. All the ERS is going to be burnt out, but Hazer is going to cross the line in P2. And he's going to be the one to gain the most. Mr. P has lost the place to Lynx Please. He will need to get that place back. He will need that P4, but it looks like it's not going to be enough. Or is it? Gaining on the Mercedes, who's going to defend it on the inside. And that's going to be that. He's going to have to settle for P2. But Hazer is the winner out of the three here. He takes P2. And that is going to be the lead of the championship in the InterTier for the McLaren driver. He's had a very, very interesting championship this season. I don't believe he's had a win yet, but he's right there at the top of the championship, finishing P2 in this race after Deck grabbed your winner. We didn't follow Greg across the line because so much was happening, but Deck grabs your win in a dominant race for the Mercedes. Hazer takes the championship lead, finishing in P2. Mano is going to settle for P3. He will gain a little bit on Mr. P, but not enough to gain that P2 in the championship. Mr. P is going to have to settle for P5. He didn't have enough to beat the Mercedes in front. Viva takes P6, a strong race from him, the best of the rest. One of the drivers who is up there fighting for the championship, but obviously it's going to be very difficult for him to stay in there. But he was up there for a while. And he's going to take the best of the rest. Doug's going to take P7. Merck on the final lap of the race took it from Woody. The Alpines damage control they've done here, and they've only lost a few points to the Kickstarter, but not enough at all for Kickstarter to take that championship lead. Warner will take P10 and P11 will be for Kez Senator. There you go. The Mercedes will stand at the top step of the podium. His team will absolutely jubilate because we all know that the champagne is going to taste the best at the Mercedes Petronas camp. And as they celebrate, he's accompanied by the Kickstarter of Mano and the Hazer in the McLaren, who've had very good races there today. Mano from P12 all the way to P3. Surely my driver of the day. Thinks Peace takes that P4. I looked at Iceman did. Was it? Why not did take P10 and Kez P7, P11? Yeah. The rest did DNF from this race. I'm going to show the race director just in case because there were some incidents in this race. Just in case people need it. And here you go. Thank you guys for tuning in for another round here in the InterTier. Very, very exciting round. Very, very exciting tier as always. I have been Willie Fernandez and we have been UFRL. Good night and goodbye.